Hello dear students, welcome to another session of Indian Contract Act. We are discussing one of the important essentials of a valid contract, and that is free consent. Till now we have gone through important four conditions wherein if a consent has been obtained by incorporating either of these four, then the contract will be considered to be voidable contract. We looked at coercion, undue influence, fraud and misrepresentation, and we said that if a party has obtained the consent of another party by incorporating or by indulging into any of these activities, it will be considered to be a voidable contract, meaning the party whose consent has been so taken will get an option to choose whether to go ahead with the contract and consider it to be a valid contract, or to not go ahead with the contract, rescind the contract, cancel the contract, and consider it to be a void contract. The last type of essential element for free consent is known as non mistake. Now, when you say that the consent has been taken by mistake, it does not render the contract as a valid contract. Now, the word mistake can be taken in the same sense that we use it in common day parlance. That means चूक किंवा आपण म्हणतो ना चुकीने तसं झालं की अरे मला तर चुकीचा अर्थ कळाला, or it happened by mistake. So, mistake basically is an error which is made by the parties to the contract, and it is an erroneously mistaken belief about something. There is a misunderstanding between the parties with respect to certain subject matter or with respect to certain important criteria of that contract. Under the Indian Contract Act, the mistake related provisions are provided under Section 20 of the Indian Contract Act, which says that firstly, the mistake can be of either of a fact or mistake of law. In our subsequent slides, we will try to understand as to what is mistake of fact and what is mistake of law. But if the contract has to be not considered as a valid contract, it needs to fulfill certain essential elements wherein the contract will be considered to be void contract because the consent has been obtained by mistake. The first one is that mistake should be as to the formation of the contract. Now, the word formation of the contract means that it should be at the beginning of the contract itself. To give you a small example, let's say one party had entered into a contract with another party wherein he says that I will deliver to you one entire truck of sweet corn, and that delivery has to happen from Delhi to Mumbai. So the trader from Delhi gives a call to a trader in Mumbai and says that as per our contract, I will send the sweet corns tomorrow from my godown. Now, the minute the trader in Mumbai receives the truck full of sweet corns, he notices that all the sweet corns are deteriorated. Deteriorated म्हणजे ते खराब झालेले आहेत, त्याचा नाश झालेला आहे. He gives a call to a person from Delhi, trader from Delhi, and the trader from Delhi then realizes that all the sweet corns which he had stored in the godown due to rains, they have spoiled, they have rotten. But neither the trader from Delhi knew about it, and neither the trader from Mumbai knew that the sweet corns are completely rotten and they cannot be consumed. That means the mistake was from the beginning of the contract itself, at the time of formation of the contract. The second essential is that the mistake must be of both the parties, that is bilateral mistake. Now, a mistake can be unilateral, means by a single party to the contract, or it can be bilateral, that means by both the parties. Taking the same example ahead, let's say if the trader from Delhi who had sent the delivery of the sweet corn knew about the fact that the sweet corns are completely rotten and still he sent those sweet corns to the trader in Mumbai, it will not be considered to be bilateral mistake, but it will be considered to be unilateral mistake, meaning it was only the trader in Mumbai who had no idea that the sweet corns cannot be consumed, but the trader in Delhi knew about it. In such case, the contract cannot be considered to be void contract. It will be considered to be a valid contract, and the trader from Delhi will have to pay damages, that means monetary compensation, to the trader in Mumbai because he has breached the contract. He has not fulfilled his obligation of sending the correct material. So for a mistake to become a mistake under the Indian Contract Act and a contract to be void contract, the mistake should be of both the parties. If only either of the party is at mistake, it cannot consider the contract as void. The third criteria is that mistake must be of fact and not of law. Now the word fact means वस्तुस्थिती. आपण म्हणतो ना की अरे ही तर खरी खरी वस्तुस्थिती आहे किंवा एखाद्या कॉन्ट्रॅक्टशी रिलेटेड किंवा कॉन्ट्रॅक्टशी निगडीत एखाद्या गोष्टीबद्दल सब्जेक्ट मॅटर असू देत किंवा एखाद्या कंडिशनबद्दल असू देत, दॅट इज फॅक्ट. Any citizen of India is not excused from not knowing the laws. Every citizen is expected to know the law of the country, and that is why if there is a mistake with respect to the legal obligations or with respect to law, then it will not declare the contract void, it will declare the contract as valid. And that is why the mistake should be that of fact and not that of law. The mistake must be about the fact which is essential to the agreement. Now, like we had discussed last time as well, there are certain representations which are essential for agreement, whereas certain essentials which are not very important for an agreement. Taking the same sweet corn example, let's say tomorrow if the trader from Delhi says that I will send the sweet corn by truck, that means the delivery will be done by road, and that is what is agreed between the parties. But due to certain reasons, the trader from Delhi was not able to send the sweet corns by road, so he sent the sweet corns by air, that means by airline. Then even though that particular mistake was important to the contract, but it was not the essential of a contract. The fact that the trader at Mumbai received the sweet corns on time as per the contract in good health, it does not matter whether the sweet corns were sent by road or they were sent by airline, unless and until the buyer, that means the trader in Mumbai, has to pay for the airline fare. But in this case, if the mistake is with respect to the subject matter of the agreement, something which is very essential to the agreement, then only it will be considered to be a mistake under the Indian Contract Act. And that is why these are the essential conditions wherein if they are satisfied, then only the contract will be considered to be void. Now, the consequence of a void contract is that it renders both the parties away from their obligations, meaning in this case, neither of the parties is required to fulfill its obligation. If any party has received any benefit, it has to return that benefit to the other party. But you cannot make any party obligated to perform his part of obligation, which does not happen in case of valid contract. So if the mistake is unilateral mistake, the party has to perform his part of obligation. But if the person fails to perform his part of obligation, then it will be considered to be breach of a contract. Now let us go ahead to understand in which cases the contract is declared void. The first one is when the mistake is as to the existence of the subject matter. Now sometimes it might happen that when both the parties are in the discussion stage, the subject matter of the contract exists. That means ज्या गोष्टीसाठी कॉन्ट्रॅक्ट केलेला आहे ती गोष्ट एक्झिस्टन्समध्ये असेल, but due to certain reasons which are out of the control of the party, once the contract is entered into, the subject matter may not be in existence. So if it is a mistake, if it is a bilateral mistake with respect to existence of a contract, it may declare the contract to be void. So if the contract becomes void if without the knowledge of the parties, the subject matter does not exist at the time of the contract. Second is if the mistake is as to the identity of the subject matter. Now mistake of both the parties regarding the identity of subject matter renders the contract void. It usually occurs where one party intends to deal in one thing and the other party intends to deal in another thing. For example, let's say I want to sell my Dell laptop. I have got two laptops, Dell and HP, but the other party thinks that I am trying to sell the HP laptop. Then in this case, we are at mistake. We both are at mistake with respect to the identity of subject matter. So the contract will be considered to be void contract. Next is with respect to mistake regarding the title. Now the word title in legal sense means ownership. For example, if I have the title to a property, means I am the owner of that property. Now, if the seller is selling one particular object which he is not entitled to sell, or the purchaser is purchasing a thing which already belongs to him, but both are ignorant about the fact, then the agreement will become void. I'll give you a small example with respect to a landmark judgment, which is Cooper versus Phillip. Now, in this case, A took a lease of fishery from B, fishery in the sense the fishing farmlands. Now, both of them believed that the fishery belonged to B, but in fact, it belonged to C, that means to some other third party. It was held that the agreement is void because both the parties were at the mistake with respect to the title of the contract, with respect to the title of that subject matter. I cannot sell something which I don't have the ownership of. Likewise, I cannot go and purchase something from someone who does not have the ownership of that thing. And that is why, if there is a mistake of both the parties with respect to the title, that means with respect to ownership of the subject matter, it will be considered to be void contract. Likewise, if it is the mistake as to the price here means consideration. So if there is some mutual mistake as to the price of the subject matter, the contract will be void. For example, if I am trying to sell my let's say I am trying to sell my bike at 10,000 rupees, but I am trying to give the offer to my friend on a telephone, and due to some telephone network disturbance, my friend hears 15,000 rupees instead of 10,000 rupees. Now here we both are at mistake with respect to the price of the subject matter, that is the bike. So the contract will be declared as void contract. Next is mistake as to quantity and mistake as to quality of the contract. If I want to sell 10,000, let's say I want to sell 100 bottles of water bottles, and a purchaser wants to purchase 200 bottles. There is some miscommunication between us with respect to the quantity of bottles. We both agree to sell and purchase bottles, but we are talking about different quantities here, which we both don't know about it. We are at mistake about it. The contract will be considered to be void contract. Similarly, if it is with respect to the quality of the subject matter, then in that case as well, if it is both, that means bilateral mistake, the contract will be considered to be void contract. And the last part is if it is a mistake as to the legal impossibility of performance. Now understand, sometimes it might happen that the laws do not have certain provisions which a person may not be very much aware of, and legally speaking it may not be possible for that person to fulfill the obligations under law. For example, if I have given one particular flat on rent to Mr. A, at the same time when my rent agreement is going on, if it is still valid, I cannot give the same flat to Mr. B on rent, because I have already a legal obligation with A for giving that flat on rent. So legally speaking, there is a mistake with respect to law which I am not aware about. So legally speaking, if I have already given a flat on rent to Mr. A, at the same time I cannot give the same flat on rent to Mr. B. So if there is such a mistake by both the parties, it will render the contract void contract. So under these circumstances, the contract is considered to be void contract, and both the parties are not expected to perform their part of obligation. Now let us go ahead to understand under the Indian Contract Act under which circumstances the contract is declared to be valid contract, meaning even though it is a mistake, it will be considered to be valid contract and the party has to go ahead and perform his part of obligation. One, if it is a unilateral mistake, and another if it is a mistake of law. Now the word unilateral means if the mistake is of only one party. According to section 22, if only one party to the contract is at mistake with respect to the subject matter of the contract, then the contract will not be considered to be void, it will be considered to be valid contract. meaning that if only I am mistaken about the contract, about the subject matter, but the other party is fulfilling the agreement as it was decided, then why the other party should suffer because of my mistake? माझ्या चुकीमुळे दुसऱ्या व्यक्तीला नुकसान नाही झालं पाहिजे. And that is why the law says that if it is only one party's mistake, then the contract will be considered to be valid contract. And if I don't go ahead and perform my obligation, then I will be said to have breached the contract. Breach means मोडणे. मी माझा जर का ऑब्लिगेशन्स फुलफिल नाही केले तर मी कॉन्ट्रॅक्ट मोडला आहे आणि मग माझ्यावर नुकसान भरपाईची जबाबदारी येते. Likewise, the other type in which the contract will be considered to be valid if it is a mistake of law. Like I said, in India as well, in many countries, it is considered that the citizen must know the law of his own land. Ignorance of law is no excuse. If I don't know whether killing a person is whether murdering a person is a crime, I don't know that, so I go and murder a person. I cannot go to the court tomorrow and say that I did not know that there is a law which said that murdering a person is a crime. Law assumes that every citizen should be aware of the laws to which he belongs to. And that is why, if the mistake is with respect to the Indian laws, the contract will be considered to be valid contract. Now it depends upon the party how the party wants to go ahead and fulfill his obligations, but I cannot take a defense saying that I did not know that this is a law and I was not aware that this is a law, because ignorance of law is no excuse. But when you talk about foreign laws, that means the laws which are incorporated outside India, the law does not assume that you must know the law. The Indian Contract Act says that you must know the Indian laws, but if you don't know the foreign laws, it will not be considered to be a void agreement, and you still can take a defense that I was not aware of this law, and that is why it will be considered to be a mistake, and thereby the contract will be declared to be void contract. So when it is a unilateral mistake, it will be considered to be a valid contract. If it is a mistake as to Indian law, it will be considered to be a valid contract. But in other cases, the contract will be considered to be void contract, and the party is not supposed to fulfill his part of obligation. So this is all about free consent, wherein we said that the consent of the party must be obtained freely. So a quick revision wherein we will understand what we discussed till now. So we said that in following cases, if the consent is obtained by indulging into any of the one, then the contract will be considered not valid. So coercion, like we said, coercion means you are trying to compel a person to enter into a contract either by using physical force or by using mental force. So if you are trying to do something which is forbidden by the Indian Penal Code, for example kidnapping, murdering, stealing something, or fraud, doing fraud sort of agreements, then it will be considered to be coercion. Likewise, when you talk about undue influence, there is one dominant party which exercises undue influence on another party, and the another party just submits himself to the dominant party and enters into a contract. For example, we said there are certain relationships like parents children, or principal agent, employer employee, doctor and the patient. In such cases, the contract may be declared to be voidable by the court if the party proves it in the court that my consent was taken not freely, I had given my consent under undue influence. Another one is a fraud, wherein the party obtains the consent of another party by committing a fraudulent activity with an intention to deceive the other party, with an intention to commit fraud and to obtain the consent of the other party. In such cases, again the contract becomes voidable. Now the difference between fraud and misrepresentation, as we discussed last time, that in case of fraud the intention to deceive the other party should be there, whereas in case of misrepresentation the person making the representation is not aware as to whatever he is saying is not correct. So the person making the representation actually feels that whatever he is saying is correct and tries to make the representation, but in reality it is incorrect. If the consent is obtained in such a fashion, it can be declared as voidable by the court. And the last one which we discussed today was mistake. In this case the contract is declared as void. So in first four cases the contract is declared as voidable, but in the last case the contract is declared as void. So party is not given any option to whether go ahead with the contract or not to go ahead with the contract. Whereas in first four cases the aggrieved party, means the party whose consent was so taken, can decide whether to go ahead with the contract or not to go ahead with the contract. So this is with respect to free consent, and as by now you must have understood that if a contract has to be entered into, the parties are required to obtain the consent of each other freely, and if the consent is not free the contract becomes voidable, and if it is with respect to mistake then the contract becomes void. In our next session, we will go through another essential element of a valid contract, and that is consideration. Consideration means pratifal. So, in our next session, we will understand what is consideration and what are the rules with respect to consideration. Thank you so much.